Welcome to season 3 of the Weeb Retreat podcast. We hope you enjoy your stay. We are the Weebs, your hosts. My name is James. This is Germs. How you doing today, Germs?
Doing good. Another spicy week as always,
Yeah. As always, we have a lot to talk about. We do sincerely apologize from the bottom of our hearts for not getting a full episode out last week. We still gave you guys our Mushoku Tensei review, so we can't not talk about Jobless every week. But and as always, we're going to talk about Jobless right now coming up. So yeah, if you enjoy this content, timestamps are in the description below. You can also use the slider on YouTube to get to your favorite part. Let's go over what we're going to be talking about today. For our roundup, we have Demon Slayer Mugen Train, we have Jobless Reincarnation, and we got some spicy discussions for you guys. I think I'll just say this: we're going to talk about something within the anime industry that maybe bugs us, maybe doesn't. We'll have some spicy thoughts on that. We will also be talking about the rankings of this season. We're mid-season. We're already mid-fall season. Can you believe that, Germ?
Oh no.
And then for the news, we got some spicy news topics. We have Mushoku Tensei related news. If you're a fan of Jobless, stay for that. We got some spicy thoughts on that. We have an interesting one. We have a Macross news update, at least for us here in North America. So that'll be interesting to talk about. And then we're going to save the best for last. We have JOJO. Yes, JOJO Part 6. We have some spicy thoughts on that as well. We have to talk about a new update regarding JOJO Part 6. So as always, we have a great show for you guys today. We hope you enjoy your stay. Drop a thumbs up and like this content. We really appreciate it. All right. Let's get into the weekly roundup here. We have Demon Slayer, Mugen Train Arc, Episode 5. We'll also talk a little bit about last week's Episode 2 because we didn't discuss it yet. But what are your thoughts on this week's episode of Demon Slayer, Germs?
It was so beautiful. The animation, like, I don't know if it was just an upgrade from the movie release, but it was just like, seeing these fight scenes and like, just so much movement. Like, it was like a fight scene the whole 24 minutes. Like, I was like, okay, when are they gonna take like a little break, or when they're gonna pause for like a minute here? It's like they just kept going hard with anime. I was like, oh my god, woo, woo.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some really beautiful fights. Tanjiro, killing himself in his dreams over and over again. Almost did it in real life. He was real close there, but it was really spicy and good stuff, man. Just how I remember it, being in the theaters. I was like, they just keep going. Oh.
Yeah, in the theaters, I remember you remarked to me when we were in the theaters, you're like, this is a mad lad. He keeps killing himself. That's crazy, And it is. But yeah, nothing was all the scenes are the same, but we do have some new cuts in here, which is nice. That's nice. Like last week's let me see. They described Enmu's ability. I mean, it wasn't described in the movie, but it was pretty, like, once you watch it, you kind of get the gist of it, but he actually describes it, so they added that in. They added trying to think. They've added a few cuts in here. They've added, I believe it's 70 for this new season. So I hate to say it, but I guess this is technically the best way to experience Mugen Train if you want even those slight little new cuts that kind of help help things sync together a little bit better. But again, if you want to watch it in movie form, you do you, but it's nice to see more cuts here. Like, yeah, I just think they're doing a great job with it. Like you said, lots of action this week. This week, I was like, man, this was such an action packed arc, such an action packed movie. Like you said, they just don't let off the brakes here. I mean, this week's episode was all just pure action. Them going up against Enmu, and man, I just cannot wait for the next few weeks because we know how this goes down. We know how the story is going to go. We won't say how it will go, but we know that some crazy things are coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, now we're getting to the next part here. It's like, oh, we already had this spice. Now we're getting to the next one. It's like, oh, okay, now we're getting to that next one.
Yeah. Anything specific about this episode that you want to talk about? Basically, Tanjiro's waking up now. Him and Inosuke, sort of. Well, Rengoku instructs them, "Hey, go take care of the demon up top. I'm gonna take care of the 5 trains, and then Zenitsu and Nezuko will take care of the other 5." So they're basically doing that, And yeah, Tanjiro and Inosuke are going ham upstairs, going absolutely ham. I think one of the new cuts. I could be wrong about this, but I think one of the new cuts were as they were
flying,
yeah, as they were
falling. Yeah.
coming down and they're like spiraling, and there's like that beautiful moment of Sakuga. I mean, all of it's like Sakuga. All of it's like the best, most crisp, beautiful animation you could say. But there's that one moment where he's slicing, and you know how the Japanese like to do that like bright shots, right? Whenever like something bright happens, like they gave a little bright animation when he slashed the arms coming down. I think that was new. I think again, I've only seen the movie twice, so I think that was new, but either way, gorgeous, gorgeous addition. So yeah,
Hmm.
such a
Yeah.
good episode.
Yeah, I think definitely if you're watching this for the first time, you're just like 20 minutes on a rocket ship, going to the moon, and it's like, oh my god, when's it gonna stop? It just doesn't.
Yeah, and what's interesting is there's really no foreshadowing for next week. It kind of abruptly ends, which is gonna be fun because I think anime only viewers are going to watch next week's episode and be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 what's going on here?" Because, something kind of out of nowhere just something happens. I won't say what, but something just kinda happens, and it's like the 3rd act of the movie, you're just like, "Okay, there was no foreshadowing to this, but I'll take it," and it ends up being a crazy, crazy climax. All that we can say is we promise the action is not done yet, so, keep your seatbelts, buckled. The ride is not over yet. You got a few more, loops to go through, a few more, turns. So yeah, great as always. I mean, again, we don't really have much to talk about content-wise just because we've already seen this, but they've been adding new cuts here and there, and I like them. I think it's a great experience. I think this would be the most comprehensive way to experience Mugen Train. But again, you can't go wrong watching it all at once with the movie or watching it in the season. So, final
Mhm.
thoughts for this week's episode of Mugen Train.
Really good stuff. Like I was just like, I remember looking. I remember I was like watching me. I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. But that was me for a whole episode. I was like, man, beautiful. It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, it's kind of because it's like we're getting movie quality for the season, and I'm wondering if next season will keep up this quality. I mean, listen, Ufotable does amazing, amazing stuff, right? But I'm just wondering if there's going to be a weird transition into season 3 or whatever you want to call it, the Red Light District arc, because again, they're using the same footage from the movie, and we know that movie budgets are higher than regular TV, especially with Mugen Train. I mean, that movie has made so much money, right? So they knew that was going to be a hit. They probably pumped a lot of animation budget into it. I just hope that when we get to the Red Light District arc, it's not a noticeable decline, like, I hope it kind of smoothly transitions into that, but it's Ufotable I'm talking about. I'm talking out of my ass at this point. I know it's gonna look beautiful. I know in Ufotable we trust, right? In Mappa we trust. There's a couple studios where it's like, don't even question it. You're gonna get the goods, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm really interested to see what they do once the next arc. It's because maybe they're using all this extra time of not having to really animate anything.
I hope so.
Hopefully. Oh, I hope so. Hope so.
Well, I'll tell you one studio that has been working in the background for years, and that is Studio Bind on Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Let's talk about season 2, episode 7. Yes, this anime has been in the work for years, and you could tell. You could tell. So this week we get the Roxy episode. Uh, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm happy I have it. I'm happy I have it. This is like going out to eat, and you're like, you know what? Surprise me. You're talking to a local. You're like, you know what? Or like when you go to pay the bill and you all throw your cards in and you play roulette for who pays the bill. It's like pick one of those cards to pay the meal. It's always a surprise. So I'm happy that I got surprised with this episode. What did you, as the manga reader, what did you think of this episode focused on Roxy?
Yeah, I really liked how well it was done, like, especially like when the telepathy with the flashing lights and like little
Yes.
cracks. It's like, oh, you can feel. It's like, oh, she's like, there's something going on, but like I can't receive the messages. It's like, oh, so good, so good how they showed how she feels about going back home and the people.
Yeah, and what a way to visually show that. You know what I mean? Because it's telepathy, right? So either you can convey that in them hearing each other, but the lips not moving, or if someone can't understand it, how do you convey that someone's trying to talk to you? Well, Studio Bind has come up with a very creative and beautiful way. And again, at first, I'm watching. I'm like, all right, I know this means something. I don't know what it is though. I don't know what it is. And
Hmm.
I think her race is the Mugard, right, or Migard. So I knew that they live a
Yeah.
long time, but I didn't. Maybe it was explained to us before anime onlys, but I didn't know that they communicated telepathically. Maybe they explained it. Maybe I just forgot it. But
Yeah, it was yeah. When Rudy first showed up, he was like, "Oh, she can't. She's the only one that can't do telepathy. That's why she's left."
okay, okay.
But it was
So yeah,
it was a small little thing. I think there was more going on in that episode. So.
yeah, so I didn't immediately catch it, but man, when it was kind of explained, I'm like, "Ah, what a beautiful way to show it. What a beautiful way to show it." And, it's a lot of character development for Roxy, you know? I mean, she's kind of been this character this season that's been in the background, kind of, trailing dead end and, doing her own side missions with the, well, let's just say the interesting blonde character and, the other guy, right? So, she's kind of been doing her own thing, and it's nice to see that she kinda serves more of a purpose this season, right? Like, she's not just a cameo this season, right? And she listen, if they didn't do anything with that character, still a great cameo, still a great character, but the fact that they were able to give Roxy, more character development is awesome, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I really like the. I think that's what I love about Jobless so much is that like even side characters get development like just like oh that's nice and it's not like it's like bad. It's beautiful character development. It's like it's like oh I can really feel with this character and how they're how why they do what they do. The motivation. It's fantastic what the series does. It feels great to see how well they treat it, man.
Yeah, and, it's a little bit of a slower episode this week. Not, it's kinda similar to last week's, right? Where it's kind of more about relationships and patching up relationships as opposed to moving the plot forward, but I'm here for it. I ain't complaining. I'm very happy
Hmm.
with it. One big interesting plot device here is Roxy has officially learned that um, Rudius is part of Dead End. She kind of pieced that together. She talks to her parents, and they said, "Oh yeah, we had this guy come
Hmm.
one time. He was with a super." And they said, we used to be scared of them, but he was really nice. And Roxy kind of faints. She's like, I can't believe it. What do you mean he's with a super? And, as she's walking, a little piece of dialogue that I really liked is, I wouldn't put it past Rudius to, resurrect the Dead End name. He'd be crazy enough to do something like that, you know? So, it's good that it's no longer kind of hidden, like, now we know that Roxy has sort of she was trailing them for a while, getting close, but as a detective, not figuring it out. Now she's kinda figured it out. Now, she's going on her own journey to, find everyone that's lost from the big, what would you call it? Not explosion, but the big mass
Incident.
movement, the big incident, right? So it's cool
Hmm.
that she got to, piece that together.
Hmm. Yeah, I think the main thing with these last few episodes was getting our foundations. Getting our foundations good. Everyone's got their motivations. Rudy sees dad. It's like okay, now I got to find my mom and or maid and other sister. And then Rocky's like, okay, I know where Rudy's safe now. I'm gonna go, find other people, and now everyone's like got a goal, what they're doing. Because before this, we were like, what's Roxy's looking for Rudy, but she's not gonna find him because they already passed each other. But now we have her motivations, like, okay, what's she gonna do?
Yeah,
So
like you said, it's getting the foundations correct. It's taking your car to get, the oil replaced and get everything checked up, the engine's all good, just getting a detail of your car, make it look nice on the outside, just make sure everything's smooth
it feels
because
good,
yeah, it feels good. Make sure everything's running nice, because now we're gonna take the car out for a journey, now we got a ride to go on, so hopefully, next week's episode, we get, some movement here with the plot, we get, whatever journey they're gonna go on, we get to see where that goes. We saw a little bit of it in the beginning, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ruijerd
They were
was kind of
on a boat ride.
yeah, they had the boat ride, then Ruijerd was beating up some dudes, so that's cool to see, but next week, I wanna get into the goods. Next week, I wanna see how this all goes down, so yeah, great episode as always, man. Even the slower ones, right, Germs? Like, there's always something to take with these episodes, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what's really good about the series. You get those highs, but then even when it because you can't be an pure action all the time. When you get those slow moments, that's where you tell how good a show is.
Yep, exactly. The true test of a show is not in its best episodes, but the worst episodes. Do they still keep you engaged? Does it still add to the story, or does it feel like it's slacking? And this is not slacking. Every episode, there's not a bad episode. There's never a bad episode. So to Studio Bind and Shoku Tensei, we salute you, and great episode as always. Great episode as always. All right, let's get into the discussion of the week here. We got two beautiful discussions for you weebs out here. Let's start with the rankings, right? We are midway through the fall 2021 season of anime. It's crazy. How are we already halfway through fall, Germs? How does this happen?
Oh,
How, how
I'm
does time
scared because
I'm scared too. I'm scared too. How are we at the end of 2021 already? That's the real question. How do we get here? So you have a graphic from Reddit. What's the people that do these?
r
Did they got
slash
a name?
anime.
Yeah,
I don't.
r slash
Well,
anime
yeah,
karma rankings. If you're on the anime Reddit, then you know this. You've probably seen these before. So
yeah. We'll
let's
link it down below, like we usually do.
yep, and we'll have a picture for it when we're talking about this right now, I assume. So let's get into this. What are the people, and this is off of what people are watching and what they rate the highest, right? Like, so if you're watching a show and you really like it, that's going to
Yeah,
be
you give a little thumbs up. You're like, okay, yeah, I agree, or
all right, sweet. So list them off here, Germs. Let's start listing them off here.
So as I was hoping, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
we're gonna be checking the
same,
rankings. I was like, oh no, oh come
same.
on, come on, come on, it's gotta be up there. It's gotta be up top three. And number one, Jobless. Let's go, let's go. That's
Let's
exactly
go.
what we expected. And it's got a nice little lead from number two, which is 86
It
season
does.
two,
It
which
does. And
is
you know what?
usually that's how it always goes.
Yeah, and you know what? With seasons with massive shows like Demon Slayer is not a good example because that content has already been shown in the movie. But typically, like a Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, those are like way above, and then like the second is like way down, like 10,000 less or something like that, right? So this is a little bit of a closer lead, but I really, really hope that Mushoku Tensei is doing well in Japan. I really hope so, man. I think Studio Bind's already said that they're going to do a season 3, which is great, but please, please, we got to support Mushoku Tensei. We gotta keep it coming, We gotta keep it coming. They're doing such a great job with it. But your favorite, Germs, your favorite at number 2, 86. Your favorite. How
Well,
do you feel about
I saw one episode of season two, and I was liking it a bit. So I was like, yeah, it might be worthy up there this time.
yeah?
This time. This
Well,
time. Last time,
one episode.
I wouldn't.
How many it's got to be like, 7 or 8 episodes in, right? So,
That's
one
six.
episode or 6. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, you never know. But hey, from season 1, your favorite, Germs, your favorite show there at number 2.
Yeah, yeah. And then this one, I heard that really good things about, but I was like, I
Yes.
didn't expect it to be. I expect this to be like in the top 10, but a hidden gem, kind of one of those on hidden gems. But this is right number 3. Yeah, this is not hidden. The ranking of kings. And that's a really interesting one. I wanted to. I personally want to watch that. I can see it has a really interesting concept. Do you know anything about that? Want me to explain that to you?
No, I'm trying to I can't ever think of who did Attack on Titan's first. Wit. This is Wit's Wit does a lot of passion projects. This is Wit's passion project, but we've talked about on this show that Wit has been having financial problems. So what people are speculating is this will probably be the last time that Wit takes a gamble and picks something that's not super trendy or like an isekai or something that'll bring in like big money. So this is like a passion project that they're doing. It's not, but hey, look, it's doing well in these rankings. So I wonder how
Well, in
much.
America, that's the one
Yeah,
problem. Yeah.
that's the problem. Yeah, these are Western rankings, right? These are English speaking rankings. So yeah, I don't know how well it's doing in Japan or not, but Wit's not doing good right now financially. So either Wit goes under, or they'll probably have to save face by doing more popular shows as opposed to stuff like this. But this is like a little passion project of theirs, and the animation looks great, like very unique, but it looks great. And
Yeah. And the concept seems really interesting
yeah,
to me.
yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna watch this one, but it doesn't. I'm not. I've heard good things about it. I'm not opposed to it. You're interested in it?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Rankings of
It's so.
Kings is the English name.
Hmm. Yeah. And then number 4, I was honestly really surprised to see this up here. Mirko Chan at number 4.
Yeah, me
That's pretty
too.
wild to me.
That's
I was
wild.
expecting I was expecting to be like lower 10s or whatever.
That's exactly what I would say.
It's such a
Lower
weird
10s.
concept. And, I had no one talking about it beforehand, so I was like, okay, it's gonna be a show that just kind of comes out this season. Because
Yeah.
the next one here, the World's Finest Assassin, I saw a bunch of stuff about that. And I was like, okay, I'm
Really?
expecting that to be like number 2 or 3.
Really? I have not seen much about that at all.
Well,
I mean, maybe.
well, my YouTube is filled with isekai, so maybe.
Oh, is that an
it's a little
isekai?
bit,
Okay.
I think yeah.
If it's an isekai, I get it. I get it that people love those, but still surprised that it's that high. Still a little bit surprised. Like, okay,
and,
number 6 is Tact OP.
Yeah, but
that makes sense. Like, dude, I would have thought that would have been like 3 or 4. Like, especially
I thought
like English speaking Americans voting on this. Like, dude, I see Tact OP discussions on YouTube everywhere. Like, my YouTube recommendations are filled with Tact OP. So people talking bad about it, people talking good about it, but I just see a lot of people talking about it. So I would have expected like that to be top 3. The fact that World's Assassins, Murako, even Rankings of Kings, that kind of surprises me is above it. But
yeah, and for me also, this is just full surprises. The Faraway Paladin. I was really excited to see this one because I read the prologue of the series and I thought that was pretty fire. So I was like, okay, I know this is gonna be pretty up there. But the one that really surprises me is Komi being number 8. That's a oh, poor James. He can't handle it. The people. I don't know what the people be into these days, but why is it? I feel like Komi should be up there with the greats. Well,
I'm sorry. Season. I didn't even see this. Komi is number 7. What?
8.
What?
8.
What? Is it 8?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing you sent me says 7.
Oh, well, that should be. Well, it's well. Even if we're looking, this is a different one, but it should be the
whatever I have. Okay, so I guess the rankings haven't moved that much if I've been spouting this off, but my thing says 7. But dude, how is Komi not top 5?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's the see look the rankings. That's good. The rankings haven't really changed that much over the.
Okay. Just so the viewers at home aren't confused, Jeremy sent me a week prior, but it looks like they haven't changed much. So it dropped.
Yeah.
How? What is going on? I don't.
People aren't gelling with the style. Maybe that's probably just has to be.
The style is what makes the show. Who is not gelling with the style? Like, what is going on here, dude? I don't. Really? Komi Can't Communicate is number 8, and that was episode 4. Episode 4 was like a banger. Who are these anime fans, Germs? I don't understand. I don't understand that. That's the 8th wonder of the world right there. I can't tell you. That's just amazing. But okay.
Yeah, and I don't know about this one, the Banished Hero, Banished from the Hero's Party. I think I might have read a chapter of that for like forever ago. But seeing Senpai up down there and then Demon Slayer is so down there as well, it's like, oh my god.
Well, what's great, dude, Senpai's above. Yeah, okay, so these rankings are like completely weird. Completely weird to me.
Yeah, this is like a weird land.
Here, let me get my overall thoughts on this shit. Mushoku Tensei I would not have expected at number 1, but very happy with it. 86, like Mushoku Tensei I would have expected to be like 3 or 4. 86 I would have expected to be like 4 or 5, but it's number 2.
I would expect it to be higher, just seeing how crazy it was last time it came out. It was like number 1 for.
But so Komi can't communicate. How Komi can't communicate isn't in the top 3 blows my mind. How like Demon Slayer, dude? I know it's a recap, and I know that people aren't really watching it, but how is Demon Slayer not even in the top 5? It's freaking Demon Slayer. People that don't even watch anime like we do, like watch Demon Slayer, So maybe because it's not. Well, no, it's on Hulu. I don't understand how American audiences or English speaking audiences wouldn't be all over that. My Senpai is annoying. Okay, that makes sense. It's at number 10. I would have expected that like to be at bottom, like lower 10, right? But
yeah,
Homie can't communicate, like
gem,
Yeah, but I some of the like rankings of Kings. I guess we're really vibing with it out here. I don't know. I've heard things about it, and I'd expect it to be top 10, but number 3, it's just kind of a shock to me, Kind of
I would expect Demon Slayer to be at least be above, Tact OP and like Mirko-chan, but for some reason Mirko-chan's number 4 and Tact OP's number. It's like I feel like Something's wrong here. Something's
You know
wrong.
what? You know what kind of surprises me is, and I don't even watch it. I think you're watching it. The Great Jaya. That's down at number 13. I mean, I see
Yeah.
again, I'm not expecting it to be
Yeah.
top 5, but I'd expect it to be, like, lower 10. I mean, it's a continuing show, so everyone who was watching it last season is still gonna be watching it this season. So, I don't know.
Mhm.
I it kind of, I guess it's people also thumbs it up if they really like the latest episode, so maybe it's they just don't like that week's episode or something, but I would have expected all
Mhm.
the watchers from last season to be sort of helping carry that show. And then people this
Mhm.
season who didn't watch it last season, like, go back and catch up, but it's number 13, I wouldn't have expected that. So,
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because if you look at it's right next to the episode number, the P. I think that's yeah, it's a poll like the score people gave it because you can see how many people watch and you
ah,
can see the rankings of how they, and that's what the right side there is for, the
gotcha. So
rankings,
that's
the
the
actual rank.
ranking.
So
So
like
then
with
these
the
numbers are
Final
just
Assassin, look how low Assassin. It's a 6.7. And it's still somehow up so high up. There's so many people watching garbage. I guess.
okay, so these
I guess my people.
your people. Yeah, so these rankings are basically the popularity, and then you also see the score there. So a lot of people are
Yeah.
watching it, but not a lot of people are liking it in regards to, Assassin. So what's the
Yeah. So
ranking
like
for dude, look at that Mushoku Tensei ranking, 9.68. Oh, people really, really vibing with it. That's good. That's good to see. I think
yeah,
they're
and
wrong. I think it
Senpai
should
is
be a
high up
10.
there. Komi's up there. It's like you can see where the good stuff is. Everything that's like everything there is like a 9 above and a 9 and above on the right side there. It's like okay. Now this looks a little bit more like what I was expecting. Komi, like number 5 or it's like okay, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah,
It's
but a
just so
lot of them
weird.
a lot of them pass 9, like Far Away Paladin, clears 9, Miracle Champ clears 9, Rankings of Kings clear 9. So a lot of them kinda clear 9, but some of them are, like, in the 8s, like Jaya almost makes 9, but doesn't.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, probably a better indicator if you're, like, trying to figure out what to watch this season. Because
What's
I know
good? Yeah.
yeah, I know a lot of people kinda like me, I kinda do this, like, I wait until, the season kinda settles in, and I'm like, "Alright, what's actually worth watching here?" Because everyone's hyped in the beginning, so those might be
Yeah.
better scores to be looking at. But in terms of popularity, very, very happy that Mushoku Tensei is killing it right now.
Yeah. Everything else just feels weird, but hey, at least the score. At least people are are somewhat agreeing with what's the good stuff.
The big one is Komi. I don't understand how Komi is that low. Like everything is kind of a shock to me, but that's the biggest shock to me. That's like
Hmm.
seriously the biggest shock to me. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't
It's
know.
internet. Not everyone agrees with us.
I mean, the score is high. The score is high of people watching it. So
Yeah.
all right, all right. So that's our mid season discussion, weebs. That is what that's the popularity of everything coming out this season. Comment down below what you guys are watching this season, and did this list surprise you at all? We will link it down below so you guys can check it out in bigger detail. All right, so we promised you guys 2 discussions this week. We made the first one quick. We'll probably make this one quick too, but we got to talk about it. We got to talk. I feel like we've talked about it on the show, but it's time to get into this.
Its own special little
Its own
spot here.
we need to dedicate time on this podcast to talk about it. And we're going to be transitioning into the news here, but the problem with this show and news is that a lot of news that comes out, it's not really news. It's not really news. The Japanese and certainly the anime industry loves to announce announcements. And, that drives us crazy. This is honestly not even like this is more of us venting. This segment of the podcast is just gonna be us venting, but why? Why do we need that? Germs, give me some logical explanations as to why they need to say, "Hey, we're gonna have news for this on so and so." Well, that's great, but why can't you just throw the news at us right now? Why can't you just surprise drop it on us and get I mean, I get it. Maybe they're trying to get people anticipating
Build
that
up. Yeah.
but if it's not a big piece of news, then you're gonna get
Then
people
it's like
disappointed. Then it's gonna do the opposite. Now people are gonna be, upset with you, you know? So it's weird. It's not really kinda how we do things out here in America or the West. A lot of times, you know, like, you'll hear, like, okay, a trailer is gonna drop next week, but they don't tell you typically the exact time or date. And typically,
they
they'll
just
tell you
drop it.
exactly what it is. They'll be like, "Yeah, we're dropping a trailer," like a good example is like the new Spider-Man coming out, right? I think the next trailer slated is like Tuesday. It's gonna be shown at a con, and then 5 minutes after, it's gonna be put on YouTube, right? But at least we know it's a new trailer. With anime, it's like, okay, we have news
Maybe
of
something.
maybe the news of this show is going to be dropping on this date. So just stay tuned for this news. It's like I don't understand why germs why.
Yeah, there's like a whole extra layer of this. It's like, instead of just telling you like, oh, the trailer's gonna be out next week, it's like, in 2 weeks, maybe we'll announce that the trailer will be announced in like three more weeks. It's like there's like a whole extra layer for some reason. It's just like,
Yeah.
and the main thing is like you don't even know what the news is like. Maybe it's an anime. Maybe it's just like OVA. Maybe it's ending the series. I don't. You never know. It's like it depends
You
on the
never
series
know.
a lot. And it's all speculation. It's like, what do I think? Oh, it's been a long time since JoJo's had a season. Oh, is this gonna be an announcement for the new season? Oh, and then they announce it's like, oh, new clothesline. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're kind of setting yourself up for failure unless you got a really big piece of news. One that I think did it really well was Mob. On Mob's Twitter, they were counting either up from 100, up from 1 to 100, or down from
Yeah,
100 to
yeah.
1 or something like that.
It was
And
one
then
to
when that
100.
1 to 100, then when that hit, bam, season 3 announcement. So that's cool. That's cool. But like here, I'll read you a headline. I'll just read you one headline this week. The Devil's a Part-Timers anime second season gets news on December 12th. What are we supposed to do with that? I don't like that's great, but just give us the news on December 12th,
Ugh.
And also, we could talk about PVs too. Where half
Oh,
you get a 1 minute PV, 1 minute. Half of it is Japanese text. Okay, cool. They're, hyping it up. Then the
story
other half
maybe or so.
is still images, like I just give us a trailer. Just give us a trailer or something. I don't know. We're just venting at this point, but we thought it'd be fun to share our thoughts on this. Do you agree with me at least on PVs too? Like, I don't know, give us a real trailer or just I don't know, share the images on Twitter or why do we have to because every time I click on one, I'm like, yes, we get a trailer. Nope, not really. Just some music and some just some character stills.
Yeah, it's just like just like maybe just like put the teaser pictures out. They did that all the time as well. The teaser pictures. It's like, okay, just sometimes they just release those, and sometimes they announce they're gonna release those.
Ugh, why?
It's like
Just release
just
them.
just
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 release
drop
them
them. You already
because
have it.
when you tease people, and I understand leaving crumbs, like you want whatever you're gonna be releasing to stay in the public's conscious, right? So you drop a trailer here, you drop images here, you drop casting announcements here, you drop little things to keep it, oh yeah, that's coming out. I'm excited, you know. But
New
to
picture. It's like,
announce,
oh, okay.
yeah, like that's great. That's great marketing. But to announce that you're gonna have an announcement is just hey, we're Americans here, right? We're Western watchers, so maybe we just don't get it. Maybe it's a cultural difference, but for us, we think it's crazy, and that's what makes doing the news segment hard for you guys. It's like we could talk about this, but it's just news that news is going to come out. So, do we even have anything to share? Do we have anything to add to this? No, not really. So that's why typically when we do news on this podcast, it's like a real trailer
A
has come out
trailer.
or an announcement for something that we didn't know was coming out. So that's why we do things the way we kind of do things here.
hmm Yeah, agreed.
All right. Well, speaking of news, let's hop right into the news, James. We got some spicy news. Now that the rant is over, we can just get right into it. All right. So let's not bury the lead here. We got Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. This is a show that we toast to, a show that is near and dear to our hearts. So the anime's Blu-ray disc is going to include an unaired special episode. Hype. So the anime's fourth Blu-ray disc volume will add an unaired side story episode on March 16th. We have a visual for it. I believe you've seen the visual. If not, I will send you the link right now. I don't know if that's visuals like specifically pertaining to the episode, but
Yeah, I can let you know.
basically, yeah. So so it's episode 16, which showed
Oh
the
no,
reunion.
that's for the actual series.
Okay, then okay.
They, yeah, they didn't include
Then the website's just putting up a new, visual just for the series in general, but episode
yeah.
16, which showed the reunion of Rudius and, his father, aired on October 30th. And so basically, the side story. Remember when Eris and Ruijerd kind of stepped out to fight goblins? It's basically going to be that. So, it was teased in a comment in episode 16 that she's going to get rid of goblins, and that's what Anime News Network is speculating that it's going to be. They're pretty accurate, so I assume it's going to be that little side mission. What did I say when we watched the episode? Remember, I was like, "Man, I wish I could have saw Eris fucking up some goblins." It's
Well,
it's
man,
like
you
Studio
get it.
Bind, and it can do no wrong. They're watching the Weeb retreat, okay? They're like, "Yeah, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you, Mr. James. No problem. No problem. We will give you beautiful gourmet meal after gourmet meal, but you want a little side dish here? We'll serve that up for you right now. The kitchen's closing, but we'll serve it up for you right now. Don't worry. It's gonna be in the Blu-ray." So all I can hope, because this is like the Japanese Blu-ray, right? So all I can hope is that you beautiful people out there who upload these to the this thing called the internet, I hope that you get this shit out quick, and I hope that you can sub it quick. I just we're really counting on you here, okay? Okay, we don't endorse pirating on the show, but we're not also saying you shouldn't. You can do whatever you want. We know you weebs do it anyways, right? Right. So but to the pirates out there, please keep your eyes on this one, okay? If you can, I'm not trying to say that you got to put yourself through crazy hours to get this up, but if you can, that'd be nice. That'd be nice if you can upload it same day, maybe next day. That'd be nice. That'd be nice, you know. So, what do you make of this, Germs? What do you make of this?
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect this at all because, like, well, I'm a manga reader, so obviously, light novel. They might have done in the light novels, explaining what she did in there, but I have no idea what
Yeah,
happened in there. So this is just like a nice little extra. It's like, oh, and it's not like it's like taken. It's just they included it with the Blu-rays. It's not like it's like, oh, wait till like a few months after. It's like, oh no, just once the Blu-ray comes out, which is usually pretty quick. It's like, oh, well, there you go, an extra little episode there. It's like it's nice. It's like it's not like uh necessary for the story, but it's like, oh, it's nice. Oh,
it's a nice addition. It's a
how
nice.
does she do against goblins? We don't know. We see her fight against Rudy and get smacked, but how does she do against normal monsters on her own?
I don't remember how she returned. Is that when she returned with the black eye or something? I mean, I don't know if she was successful in kicking their asses or not, but either way, I'm here to watch someone's ass get kicked. I'm here to watch some action, you know? So, like you said, and I love it because it's not like it's crucial to the story where it's like, ah, you kind of screwed us out of this season. Why couldn't we have that in the season? No, it's just a little side story that adds a little element to the series, but it's not necessary, you know. But we'll definitely talk about it and review it whenever you beautiful pirates out there get it up. Let's talk about before we transition. Let's just talk about that teaser pick. Anything without getting into any spoilers or anything? Does that kind of hype
I
you
can't
up,
say
or
none.
you can't
I'm
say nothing?
I
But
can't say none.
does that hype you up more? Are you looking at that and you're like, awesome, awesome, right? Whoever that is, I believe it's got to be one of the gods, I think. But whoever that does it is it like cool? Like it looks like they're going to animate him properly. Like does that look like a good adaptation from the manga? Okay, good, good,
So, I'm a bobblehead. That's all I can say. That's all I
good,
can
good, good,
say.
good, 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 good. I know that you can't say much, but good. I just got to ask. Hey, are they doing things right? And it's Studio Bind. Of course they are. Don't even need to question it. All right, so yeah, guys, comment down below. Let us know. Are you excited for this special episode of Mushoku Tensei? And also regarding the teaser pick, are you guys excited for the part 2 of this core? So we are. We are. So comment down below. We'd love to hear from you guys out there. All right, let's continue on now. We have we finally we can talk about some old school anime on this podcast.
James has been
I
waiting.
I've been waiting, man. I've been waiting because I like 80s and 90s anime. I know a lot of people aren't really into that style because it's all about that new good stuff. But nice that we have something relevant that's newsworthy that's kind of going back to the past. So we have Fathom Events streaming Macross Plus, the movie. So there's I think it's 4 or 5, I think it's 4 episode OVA back in the day, back in the 80s, I believe. And there's also a movie edition of it, and it's going to be screening in the US. What's interesting with Macross is a big Macross is kind of like Gundam, but not nearly as big as the scale of Gundam. But it's a very influential mech series that has alternate timelines and spin-offs. And what's great about Macross Plus, because I have not seen all of the original Macross. I've seen Do You Remember Love, which is kind of like a compilation. You know how back in the day they used to do like compilation movies for like series? This was
Yeah.
really big in the 80s and 90s. I saw Do You Remember Love. That's my only real experience with Macross, but I gotta say, that was good stuff. Now, I know that that's not as good as the full series because, full series is always gonna be better, but from what I've dabbled with Macross, I really like it, and the great thing about Plus is a compilation of the OVA, but the OVA is not connected to the series. So, the OVA, Plus is its own thing. You can watch this completely on its own and, enjoy it for what it is. So, as someone who, I don't think you're not even super familiar with, Macross, right, Germs?
Yeah, I have the movies downloaded, and I saw a little bit of Do You Remember Love, and I was like, wow, this is some really good animation. And I saw
It
the trailer.
was.
It's like,
Yeah,
and with
back
this
in the day,
trailer,
that
it's
was
like,
good shit.
and then I look at this trailer. It's like, wow, this is some pretty high tier stuff here. This is, even though this is old stuff and they didn't have digital and all those CGI. This looks pretty good. There's a lot of work that went into here. A lot of sweaty hours put into here.
Yes, yes, and, you know me, I'm always gonna be about the old school style animation as opposed to the CGI, but we can talk about that another day, but and by the way, Plus came out in, 94 to 95, it was 4 episodes, so, but the original Macross, Super Dimensional Fortress Macross, that came out in the, 80s, but still 80s, 90s, old school. I think it's sad to say, but I think most people would consider the 90s, old school at this point, but what'd you make of the trailer? Like, are you interested in, going to see this, Germs?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the animation on it. Was like, wow, this is really beautiful looking stuff here. I can really appreciate the work that went behind not having the power of CGI and computers. It's like some mad lads were in some sweaty Japanese office who are like we're going hard on this, like, because there's like some people have different aspects, like you don't want to think about the Hollywood paid actors and all that stuff, but like I like the behind the scenes, like, oh, these guys were going, these Japanese guys were going ham drawing every single one of those frames there.
Mhm.
There's no shortcuts there. That's just hard work and beautiful animation there.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, it kinda reminds me of, like, Akira from the '80s, like, the reason that that film looks so beautiful as it does for a anime film back then is because they had a ridiculous, budget for it. I think it was the highest budget for a Japanese film at that time, which is crazy, like, more than, like, live action and all that stuff, but it shows. I mean, that's a beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous movie, and, yeah, so obviously they've done the remastering to make it look, like 1080, HD or, whatever, because it came out in the '90s, but still beautiful frames, beautiful animation, and, yeah, it's only coming out for one day. That's something we haven't talked about. It's only coming out,
Yeah,
December 14th
December
for one
14th.
day only. So this is an exclusive release, but that's cool. It's kinda cool to see that.
Mhm.
So yeah, good to talk about Macross on this channel on this podcast. All right, so let's get into the real. I think we saved the best for last here. Let's clear our throats.
Most
Let's get.
interesting, most
let-
interesting for last as well.
Oh, the most spicy, most interesting, whatever adjective you'd like to use, and it's regarding our beloved JoJo. You know that meme? You got to put that meme. You know the meme where they're like, "They massacred my boy." I think it's a Godfather meme. Um,
Yeah.
Netflix. We love you, Netflix. We love you. It's going to debut 12 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean, on December 1st. So all 12 are dropping at once. I don't know what to say about this. Please
Well, not all.
take over.
Well, I think it's just 12 of I think it's like 36 episodes or so in
No, no,
total.
no. No, no, no. I'm not saying that's the whole season, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
saying
yeah, yeah,
all those 12 are coming on one day.
yeah,
From how it's written, from how it's worded,
yeah, yeah.
that's what they're making it seem like. I mean, it says 12 episodes on December 1st.
And
Not
that's what Netflix
not
does.
not we're gonna release the first 12 episodes starting December
Yeah.
1st. It says on December 1st, the 12 episodes. So, take it away, Germs. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I need a
December
drink.
1st. Yeah, yeah.
I need a drink.
December 1st is gonna be a pretty wild day. It's just gonna be like, cause like we're getting all 12 at once. It's like how has the like, have they been working? They have been working on this for a long while. It's Day of
Yeah,
Productions.
yeah.
They haven't let us
They
down yet, but this kind of like scares me. It's like Record Ragnarok. Uh, what's the
House Husband,
Yakuza House Husband?
House
Like we've
Husband.
been burned so many times by Netflix just dropping a bunch of episodes at once, especially without a previous Japanese release.
What was the Yasuke? Yasuke was Netflix. So this is
Yeah,
hey, and we've reviewed all of those. We'll put those up for you guys. Make right now. Make a timestamp for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
James. I'm just gonna, bam. You got. Hey, man, you got to plug when you can plug. So Netflix has been very interesting to say the least this year. Interesting to say the least. So yeah, you gotta assume David Productions has been working on these, right? I mean, it's not like they have. Okay, we have a week to do all. No, it doesn't work like that. They've got 12 in the can. But
Yeah.
what's interesting is that from there, it seems as though the series in Japan is just gonna be airing weekly in January. So how is this gonna work? Are we gonna get episode 4 or sorry, 13 onward
13,
from in January? Are they gonna air it normally in
episode
Japan,
1,
like episode 1? I just
and then wait 12 weeks until we keep.
we get new content. I mean, listen, it's interesting being a foreign, because anime is foreign to us, right? We're not Japanese, so it's interesting consuming a medium that's not really meant for us, or because we're outside of Japan. So I don't know. Anime is kind of global these days, but how are they going to do it? I just don't know. It's kind of like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has a really weird schedule, right? Instead of just going into the next season, we're getting a recap of Mugen Train. Okay. But we know that when that ends, it's going to pick up with the new season. So, okay, with this, we just don't have enough information on it. We just don't know.
Yeah, because it seems like they would go from 13 on because it's
You would
Netflix
think
Japan releasing it. So,
yeah,
eh,
is
it's
this
it's a yeah.
I believe this is
Netflix.
this is global Netflix though. I
Yeah, yeah,
believe
yeah. It's still gonna be global. I'd imagine. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
if not, get your VPN ready. But I believe this is a global release. But still, I don't know, man. I don't know because listen, they gave us Peach Boy out of order. Okay, so you would think they would do things a certain way, but you never know with these studios and what they have contracted. Maybe Netflix is like, hey, like we're just gonna release the first 12 that you guys have already signed on to us for, and we're gonna generate a lot of hype for it. But because when a series airs in Japan, like, it's airing on the networks, right? Like, live TV.
Yeah,
So what is their, relationship or their contract with the live TVs? Are they just gonna because it kinda seems weird if you don't have Netflix in Japan, and a lot of people don't have streaming services in Japan, it's more popular, like, out here in the West, right? So,
yeah.
if you're just a TV watcher, why would you wanna start watching from episode 13 on? It almost seems like they'd probably start airing the first episode onward for cable watchers. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. That's
This is so wild.
so wild. And again, maybe this is a mistranslation. Maybe they're gonna start airing the episodes on December 1st, but from the way the title's written, from the way the article that we have is written, um, it it sounds like they're gonna drop it all at once. So, I don't know. I don't know. Wild news, wild news. Anything to add here, Germs? Are you pissed? Are you just taken back at this point? How are you feeling?
And I'm taken back because, like, especially like with this is JoJo, like if it's some random other series, like okay, maybe they got but like how did they get? How much money did they have to like spend in David Productions? How do they schedule this kind of thing?
Yeah.
So we don't know.
It's kinda like everyone was saying, as soon as everyone heard that, JoJo was gonna be, with Netflix, everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." Now you can see why. Now you can see why all those concerns have been, justified, it seems, but we'll see how this goes. If they drop all 12 at once, I guess expect a review at some point from us. If they I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but we're definitely gonna be talking JoJo on this podcast. There's no doubt about that. How JoJo is gonna be
Mm,
released, that's a question in and of itself.
that's another.
We're definitely gonna be talking about JoJo. So yeah, comment down below if you guys are still hyped for JoJo Part 6, Stone Ocean. Are Are you nervous like we are? I think we're all kind of nervous here, but we'll see how this all works out.
I agree.
So yeah, that's it. That's our episode. Spicy, spicy topics we had. All right, Weebs, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're a Weeb like we are, we'd really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed your stay. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, give us a follow on there. And yeah, any final thoughts for this week's episode, Germs?
Ooh, spicy and all and everywhere. Spicy stuff, man. Spicy stuff.
Spicy stuff. And hey, JoJo's kind of a low point to hang it out on, but we have good Mushoku
It's an
Tensei
unknown.
news and yeah, unknown. It's completely unknown. So all right, Weebs, we will see you guys next week. Peace out.